Algebra tiles are a really good manipulative to use in a classroom. To find the algebra tiles online, you can type in NLVM and it comes up the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. Then you would go to Algebra. When you're to this page, you will scroll all the way down to grades 6 through 8 and hit Algebra tiles. This will then pop up. I am on multiplying binomials. This is a great tool to show students how you can do this very easily. Let's do x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 2. Our x is going to be smaller than the y, so this is going to be our x, and then the 1 square. Then we're going to have x plus 2. The first thing that you would do if you were doing this on paper is to make the square. We are now going to fill in the square with the appropriate algebra tiles. So x and x makes x squared. X squared will fit right here. The next thing we will do is see what we have left. We need an x that goes right here. And to rotate, you just bring this right there. Put an x right here. And an x right here. What's left is something really small that an x or a y will not fit in, and we're not having any y, so we shouldn't use that. So now we need ones. So basically all you're doing is you can show the student without actually solving the x plus 1 times x plus 2, you're just filling in the box by drawing a line all the way to make it connect. So let's clear that and let's try x plus 1 times y plus 5. And we have a 5 right here. Okay, so the first thing we did is we had the square. If it was on paper, you would just connect the square, and then next you would just connect the lines, and that will help you figure out what variables you put. Okay, so we need an x and a y, and that is going to go right here. You see that these lines all match up, so we need to match up every single line. Let's try x. Let's see if x works. X does fit. This is easy to show students without actually having to solve the problem before teaching them how to solve binomials, that they can just line up the lines and fill in the square, and then they can solve it from there. They can count how many x's they have, how many y's they have, how many unit squares they have. Okay, now we have this filled up right here, and we need to find this. So let's try if a y will fit. Okay, now we have enough that let's see if an x will fit. No, the reason why an x will not fit is because you cannot have a non-line. Do you see that right here? The lines do not match up. So we're going to erase that, and we're going to put a 5. Does a 5 fit? And does all of it line up? Yes. So that is how you would solve that. Let's do one more. Let's do x plus y times 2x plus 3y. This one might be a little bit more difficult for the students. So let's see if we can get them to solve it without, and you can also make your value of y smaller by just doing that. And I can make it smaller than x, or I can make it larger. Let's make it that, and let's make x just a little bit larger. Okay. So now let's see if the students would be able to solve it just by lining it up. Remember, we're not solving it yet. We're just lining up everything, and then we go back and count, and that will show students a lot easier how to do it. So let's put an xy right here. The lines do match up. Let's put another xy. Let's see if the lines match up. They do. So now let's do some, what about an xy? Will that work? Will an xy work? Yes. And we need multiple xy's. All of the lines line up. Now we have this top up here left. Let's see. Will another xy go? You can rotate this way, and that lines up. Rotate this way, that lines up. Now we have this space right here. So let's see what can go. An x cannot go, because as you can see, it's right in the middle there, so that doesn't work. Let's see if an x squared. An x squared is too large. A y squared does work. Let's see how many of those we need. And there you go. That's how you would solve the problem. So you can take your students when you're introducing multiplying binomials to this website. You can put in any binomial problem you want, and you can basically just teach them that they need to line up all of the lines. When they do that, then they can count and they can solve, and this will help them introduce binomials.